Welcome to Source Material, a podcast where we tell each other funny and or formative stories from our lives and then make it into an RPG and play the story out together. It's a combination of some long-form improv, collaborative storytelling, with maybe just a touch of group therapy. Last time we were in the Cliftover stables with little Emmett / little Emma, Timmy Two Toes, and Mr. Dolbridge. We had just left little Emma as she was hanging out in her little attic room in the stables and sort of going over the various things that had been gifted to her, both by Timmy Two Toes and also by Dolbridge. So maybe, I think that you were like going to bed and everything else. So I think probably next day, it's bright, or not even bright really, you probably wake up before the sun is up.
Okay, Mr. Dolbridge, how do you wake up the boys on race day?
Give me a second. So wait, I'm waking up just everyone?
Yeah, like I assume that you're probably the first up and you get all these young boys, they're grumbling and you sort of have to get them moving and get the horses ready on race day bright and early.
Up and at 'em, chaps, it's time for the races today.
Oh, come on, Dolbridge. 5 more minutes.
Jiminy crickets, mate.
I'll give you down from the count of 3, 2, 1. You better be up.
A bunch of like feet hit the floor because even though they grumble and are annoyed, they all know that it's not worth it to try to actually fight this. So on that 3, 2, 1, bunch of feet hit the ground as people jump up and start slowly stretching and getting ready.
That's the way, boys. By Jove, it takes you so much to get out of bed sometimes.
By Jove, Mr. Dolbridge sure is an early riser.
I know you probably didn't expect me to use this new up-and-coming slang that the young stable boys have been using, but I thought it would make me more relatable to my inferiors.
God, it's so lame. Generation Epsilon uses phrases like "by Jove."
Wait, Epsilon?
I don't know what.
That was from the space game called one of the generations Epsilon.
Oh, really? Oh, well,
We're just planting like cute little seeds for our audience.
Yeah, these are just Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the boys around us? What kind of boys are? How many boys are there?
I forget how many we said. I think it was somewhere around like half a dozen to a dozen-ish. You know, there was like there's that one kid who is kind of your enemy or whatever, but he's not there because he sort of gets brought in a bit later because he's, rich kid.
He's rich.
Dropped off at like 8 a.m. instead of waking up at 6 a.m.
Nice.
Does little Emma have a crush on any of these boys?
Oh my god. Maybe. I think it's more of like a remove, maybe like a how could anyone have be worried about crushes when we've got to take care of the horses all day? That like if we were like 2 years further into this like teen like YA drama would eventually become full blown crushes on like I want to say 2 of the NSYNC-esque stable boys that I work with.
Nice.
But alas, not yet. But I think they're all very just like they're fucking goofy 12-year-olds, and they're like rowdy British chaps. And they anyway. God, okay, so it's race day. Like what do we do on race day?
Yeah, so you see I think everyone is just like slowly making their way to getting ready, like washing their faces and that sort of a thing. And then just people probably start brushing and warming up and feeding the horses and everything else. Everyone like has their specific assignment or something like that where they're supposed to be helping this horse or that one.
Dolbridge.
What's Dolbridge doing? Yeah.
Dolbridge calls everyone together for a morning meeting and says, Ah, my dear fellows, let us not be led astray by the siren call of chaos that lurks in the shadows of this bustling hive of activity. Nay, let us be. You went away for a second, you know? Let us be the beacon of calm amidst the storm, the lighthouse guiding our ship safely to harbor. For as custodians of these magnificent beasts, it falls upon us to temper their fiery spirits with a gentle touch of understanding, to soothe their restless souls with the dulcet tones of our voices, and to steer them true with the steady hand of experience. And he smiles, very satisfied with himself and this morning announcement, and then just sort of nods at you guys to know what you're doing next.
Mr. Dolbridge, a point of order. Was that off the top of your head, mate? Or did you write that down?
Did you get like a bunch of people to write that for you? Like a whole bunch of just random people somehow compiled together?
Mr. Dolbridge, you speak in tongues as if you were a character in a book.
Wouldn't you like to know?
And see what a rather plain response in comparison to the practical poem you just spouted unprompted from your mouth. It's insane to say what you said and then to say, well, all right, back to horses.
Was ChatGPT okay? Is that what you wanted to hear? Okay?
It is. Admit it. No, that was beautiful. I think you should feel free to use ChatGPT, especially because it's now that I know the tone of your voice when you are reading something aloud. It's really going to be fun and easy to tell. That's good. I want to know what Tommy Two Toes is doing during this morning as well.
All right, so yeah, we can flash over to Timmy Two Toes and seeing what he's up to today.
How does he start the day?
I don't know. Let me think.
How do gangsters start their day? I once watched The Wash, a movie with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg woke up with a blunt in his mouth. That really seemed like a way gangsters wake up.
I think for him, it's more of like one of those montages of a person getting themselves like meticulously dressed and ready, that sort of thing.
Ooh.
You know? It's like what's the movie with Christian Bale? It's one of those.
Oh, it's one of the Batman ones, isn't it?
I'm an American Psycho. But sure, the Batman ones too.
Oh, American Psycho, yes.
He's always getting ready. But yeah, I think this is like the big show day for him. So he spends time like picking out just the perfect plainish gray suit, and with just the perfect color to go against it with his tie and whatnot, and the best overcoat and all that stuff. And then he's picking out his rings and everything else. And then we're flashing between that scene and the scene of Lil Emmy as they're just like washing their face in like dirtyish water and eating whatever little like grapes of bread and cheese and stuff is just left out to be their breakfast, and shoveling some poop and all that sort of stuff. And then it's flashing between those two scenes.
I love that. I love that.
It's a humble, good living over here at the stables. None of that flashy noise.
I think what made me laugh during Nathan, I love going back and forth, but I laughed just imagining like Lil Emmett like rubbing their face in dirty water, and then just like 5 other boys behind her just like
in line, like, come on, we all gotta wash our face.
Yeah, just a line of like dirty water face washing. Okay. Okay, I love that. I think if it's like the morning is really just like all business. Like Lil Emmett and is like carousing with the boys, and she's like, oh, like, yeah, mate, like these horses are right gits sometimes. Am I right?
Yeah, that black charging stallion, whatever, the one everyone thinks gonna win, nearly bit off my fingers. I was just trying to give it some
Yeah.
oats.
Oi, mate, you want to hear a British joke?
Of course, it's the only kind of joke I know.
All right, yeah. So this guy walks into the pub, right? And he sits down and he's like, "Oi, mate, like, can I have a drink?" The bartender goes, "Oh, why are you so sad?" And the guy goes, "Oh, mate, I quit my job today. I couldn't do it anymore." It's like, "Oh, what job did you have?" "Well, I took care of the dogs for the royal family, all the corgis and whatnot." And the guy's like, "Oh, that had to have been a good job. Like, it's not good." And he's like, "No, it's a bad job, mate. Because after years and years of inbreeding, they're all so stupid and they can barely breathe on their own. You have to take care of them like 24/7." It's like, "Oh man, I had no idea." And he goes, "Yeah, and the dogs aren't so bright either."
They laugh.
You get it?
There's lots of knee slapping.
Dolbridge
No.
walks by, with a disappointed look, silently as he goes to take care of one of the horses.
Dolbridge, you love the royal family, don't you? What about all their scandal?
A loyalist through and through.
I just don't think it's right to disrespect authority, Dolbridge says as he goes towards this horse. But once the boys can't see him anymore, he does crack a little smile. He just won't let them see that.
It hurts knowing that, like, you guys didn't laugh at that joke in real life, but Nathan had to, like, narrate boys laughing. They're like, "Oh yes, everyone in the fictional room laughs at that joke."
Yeah.
I was enjoying the joke, but I think I caught what it was.
I think that's what it is too. Yeah, is that it was very
Oh,
quick.
really?
I'm showing my laugh from the point to let you finish, but I think I caught on earlier.
Yeah, similar thing here, I think.
That's very nice of you to say. You both stifled your laughs. That's no, that's fair. Okay, noted. Okay, we're carousing. It's stable day. I think there comes a time like oh, you know what? There's like a scene where like you start hearing all the new Model T cars pull up and everything, and like all the stable boys like run to like kind of a tall wooden fence, and they climb up and they like watch kind of the crowds of people start to arrive. And there's like very fancy British folks, and then there's like just kind of your people in newsy caps and suspenders, just kind of like running around. Horses are places. Horses for riding, not for racing.
I think one thing you see here is you notice that Nigel didn't come in when he normally does at like 8. It's, already like, 9:30, 10 or something now as people are arriving. And you see that that's because he doesn't have to work today, apparently, because he hops out of like a fancy new like jet black car, very new automobile. And he steps out with his family as he just gets to enjoy the race today.
Farnsworth never works race day. Am I right, Jim Bob?
Yeah. Well, I mean, would you work race day if you didn't need to? I wish I could be out there and watching them. I mean, we get to watch them, but we don't get to sit up with the rest of them.
Your name is Jim
Right.
Bob. What is this? The Americas?
Yeah, Jim Bob was born in America, and he came here when he was but an infant, so he's adopted our accent.
Yeah.
You got the money
Didn't
to
you know
come here
that?
from America, and you're working in the stable.
No, it's just my
Oi.
parents tried to immigrate, failed there, had to come back.
Oh, rough luck.
It's actually quite a complicated story, Rogelio. You should know. You should be able to understand that yourself. I'd give anything to have shoes as shiny as his. Mine are just covered in horse shit and blood.
Speaking of being willing to do anything, well, Emma, it is getting to be, pretty, not late, but late in the morning, and you do have a bunch of mead/rum oak carrots that still need to be fed to somebody.
Ooh, I thought you were talking to your wife when you said Emma. Emma, you still have, I know we're recording a podcast right now, but you still have a lot of rum-soaked carrots to feed horses. Like,
Yeah, unrelated.
related, just as a reminder for
Later.
when we're done. This is tough because it's like a pretty defining moment for the story.
Yeah, this is kind of like what do you do with the money thing, because you do also have, like, back in your room,
Yeah.
you've got, or not back in your room, your little like attic spot, you've got this rum soaked carrot and a package of a significant amount of money that you were told to bet on your horse, and then you would have to pay half of it out, but it would still be enough to, like, you know, get you out of this life.
Yeah. You know what? I think, like, you know, like, maybe I still have like an hour or two to do this.
Yeah.
Like, things are getting, maybe I have to do it before betting starts. Like, I have to put that bet down. And I just have to get that one horse drunk. What are the horses that we said again?
Raging Thunder is the black one, and then Lackadaisical is the one you like.
Lackadaisical. That's right. I gotta hand it to myself on the horse name. Lackadaisical was a good call. I'm proud of that.
And if you remember last time, we said that Timmy Two Toes actually named that horse Lackadaisical so that people wouldn't bet on it, but it's actually a very good horse.
Oh my God.
And so he's saying,
what a good
poison the other good horse, and then bet your money. I've got a bunch of people who are all going to bet on this horse nobody likes, and then they're all going to pay me half and keep half.
I want to say at this point in the day, some of the jockeys are also starting to trickle through. And they're like saying hi to the horses, doing silly little stretches, wearing shiny boots, and so on. And Dolbridge is going to walk past you. You know, Lil Emmett?
Yeah.
I think you could be a pretty fine jockey someday. You have... I have a feeling you'll have the build for it. He says in a way that, like, maybe your cover isn't as smooth as you think it is. Who knows? And you might need, you know, a little bit of money to get yourself to jockey school, but I think you could probably save that. And it will be a mighty fine and honorable career for you.
Oh, Mr. Dolbridge, that means a lot. Even though you've essentially just called me short to my face, I guess. You know,
you're going to grow into the physique of a really small boy.
I think you're going to be really tiny one day and able to ride a horse.
Dolbridge smiles through all of this, thinking this is 100% a compliment.
Well, you know what? Really, the idea of any potential in my life is quite sweet. So, you Dolbridge, that's really kind of you. I appreciate it.
Plus, you know, then I'd still see you around the stables, and that might be nice.
Oh, well, that's that is very nice, Dolbridge. Hey, I just want to say you're a good guy. I know you wake us up in the morning and you splash cold water on us if we don't, but you're a good bloke. Don't ever let anyone tell you different.
Aw, thank you, Lil Emmett. Sorry I got overly sentimental there, he says. And
you're right. Let's withdraw once again into our cold British shells. Just husks of human bodies that maybe once might have known emotion.
Yeah, right. As is the way.
As is the way. I think, Lil Emmett takes that to heart and like continues like going about his day, and like as the jockeys start to trickle in things, it's not going to be impossible to get one of the horses to get like Black Thunder drunk, but it is just going to get harder over the course of the day. Like, as a stable boy, I have access to these horses, but like time is running out if I want to do it like more easily, maybe.
Yeah, the longer it is, the harder it'll be.
Yeah, and then I maybe let's say like an hour and a half until betting starts, and like hour 45 or something. Until when do they close betting before the race? Emma, you've been to horse races.
Well, not for a while. Also
answer this trivia.
We don't we don't support horse races. It's not a good thing, you know. Um, horse races
Is it
bad. Horse races bad, but
probably
theoretically,
bad, huh?
I think maybe you would like. I think probably the betting would open at like noon, but I don't think it probably closes because I don't know. At least on TV
yeah,
shows and
you can
stuff, it
pretty
seems
much
like
do
it's
it
always
until
going.
last minute. I'm pretty sure. Like you definitely have to do
The
it
race
before
happens.
the race happens, but.
So, I have time to place the bet. Maybe I could go check out Timmy Two Toes, like, and kind of like get a glimpse of what his larger plan is.
How about we say that after that conversation that you had with Dolbridge, some of the kids some of like the other stable hands are still going out when they can to like see the people coming in because it's fancy big race day, and so you pop out with some of them as well, and you see Timmy Two Toes is sort of glad handing, meeting and greeting some of the muckety mucks because even though he is a gangster, he's like been slowly transitioning into more slightly legitimate business as he tries to make his exit from the the game. So yeah, if you wanted to go talk to or something there, you see him. He's like leading some fancy people up to the higher areas where they'll be sitting and stuff, walking around the ground.
Could I kind of assume the role of like, just like another like section of job in the stables, like where I like am taking people's coats or something, and just kind of go start doing that job nearby and try to like see if he sees me or listen in on any conversation he's having.
I think you probably either have to like make some kind of get out of there sneaky or talk your way out of their role because like right now you're in the stables doing work, so to get over to that and like be there for a while, you probably have to like sneak out or do something else like that to not just be seen walking away from your duties. But you could, if you wanted to give a deafness roll or something like that to see if you could slip away unnoticed.
Yeah, honestly, I would try it. So deft, let's do it.
Cool.
Got a D12. Oh, I got a 1.
Oof. Okay, so the one who's like the worst person to catch you? Do you think it's Dolbridge or do you think it's one of the other kids? What do you think is worse?
I think it's Dolbridge. I think like race day is serious. I think so. Maybe I was like
that scene. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was interrupting you doing what I was going to say we should do.
Well, I think I'm just like straight up sneaking away, to try to get things done, or to check out fucking Timmy Two Toes, and like I don't know, does Dolbridge see me? What were you gonna say, Nathan? Now I want to know because now I'm realizing I don't have anything.
Well, I was just gonna say how are you trying to leave? Like how are you trying to get out? And then I was gonna have Emma be like, what do you do when you see him? Kind of a thing. Yeah, you see him sneaking away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what are you doing, Dolbridge?
Dolbridge is gonna let it go. He's gonna pretend that he didn't see this. Maybe his face falls a little bit, but he doesn't say anything. He likes Lil Emmett, and trusts in their judgment enough. At least wants to trust in their judgment and doesn't want to impose at this time.
I feel like then we get to like see Lil Emmett like making his way over to Timmy Two Toes as Dolbridge watches. And like so I think I walk up to Timmy Two Toes.
So yeah, you're walking towards Timmy Two Toes and you see that he's talking with a very, very old man who has got like the big classic mutton chops and looks like he might be like used to be in the military based on like his suit is kind of like a military cut. And then he has with him a like also old lady in a very large purple dress with like one of the big hats that one would wear to this sort of event. And he's chit-chatting with them.
What are their names?
I don't know. Maybe you guys can play them. Because how about Emma? Do you want to play one of those guys because I'll be like, if it comes up, because I'll be Timmy Two Toes and Maddie will be Emmett.
Yeah, what's a good name for a guy with mutton chops or their wife? This is just like someone he's doing business with?
Yeah. Like, Maddie doesn't know, Emmett wouldn't know who these people are as of yet, but yeah.
I think we're dealing with Duke Blarney Burnsdale and Duchess Emilia Wallberry. What did I say for the last name?
Burnsdale, I think.
Burnsdale.
So Duke and Duchess Burnsdale.
Mm-hmm.
It is I, Duchess Amelia Burnsdale. I'm writing this down. Amelia what Burnsdale?
Wallopberry.
Wallopberry. Amelia Wallopberry Burnsdale.
Little Emma, you are approaching this as the three of them are just like seem to be chatting about something.
I think it's the sort of thing where I just kind of like find a job to busy myself in the corner for a little bit. Or no, you know what? I have to make sure Timmy Two Toes sees me. So I think I go up to the three of them and I go, "Hello, lords and ladies. Could I take somebody's coat?"
Oh, well, thank you, little chap. I thought someone would never ask. The service around here is terrible.
Oh, completely understood, ma'am. Cliftover Stables is the exception, and that's great thanks to our friend Timmy Two Toes here. I mean, fuck. Okay, wait. No, that's not what I say.
And then you just need to become a stable boy for the rest of your life.
And, I was literally my plan was like, okay, I'm gonna go speak in coded language. I'm gonna like somehow talk about the plan while pretending to make niceties with these rich British people, and then that was the thing that came out of my mouth.
Code.
And here's the gang boss you're talking to's name. Oh fuck.
Also, yeah, they'd be like Timmy Two Toes. We know him as Timothy Dolbridge, the upstanding businessman.
Yes, that's what I meant to say. Excuse me. Sorry. You can get your coats back at the coat check. Have a nice day. Is there anything else I can do for you three?
Timmy Two Toes says, "Yeah, young man, is there perhaps any way you could bring us a drink? Perhaps a rum for myself? You could get that?"
Absolutely, sir. I am quite capable of getting that.
He looks at you and he says, "Make sure you are."
Do you need any carrots?
Wow, the pores really are rather uneducated. No, I would like a gin and tonic, boy.
Yes, of course, ma'am.
Carrots to drink? What does this boy think?
Carrot to drink. I think I will get them their drink, and then while I'm out, I think I might just kind of watch Timmy Two Toes work the crowd for a little bit and kind of see. I kind of want a glimpse into his life as I'm kind of thinking about making this big decision. He's obviously he's glad handing rich people. He's handing out orders. Everything he needs, he's given. But when I watch other people interact with him, Nathan, what is the vibe that I get from them? How do they feel about Timmy?
How about you make a mind check or mind roll to see how much insight you get basically into his life and the people while you watch.
Okay. Brains D8. I'm still laughing at your voice for a carrot to drink.
I don't know. With mutton chops.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That stays in or I quit, by the way. I got a 1. I got another 1.
What does that mean? I don't think you get a good impression of what people think about him, because one thing you notice is that all the people here, including Timmy Two Toes, are really putting on a face. And that's all you can pick up is the existence of the fact that everyone here is doing a show. And you never really notice it more than when you're just sitting and watching them all move and like talk together, and this group talks to that group and then moves here. It's like a weird dance or a show, and you can't get insight into what any of them are thinking because they're all just doing a performance.
Mm-hmm.
The shrill forced laugh of Amelia Wappenbury Burnsdale sings over the crowd.
And of course, the roaring laugh of her husband. Good man, good man. And also, you hear like the same laugh over and over, and you're like, do all these people just laugh the same?
They're really doctoring their laughs to fit each other.
You're like, Timmy Two Toes doesn't usually laugh like that. Why is he laughing like that?
But hey, maybe if we get drunk enough, some of the masks will slip.
Maybe. I think actually it's kind of fun to have rolled that one there too, because it's like I get like, you know, this little fucking stable boy is watching this guy thinking, you know, and buying the story that like he has it all and like is living a good life. When like if people know what Timmy Two Toes does, what he's really seeing is fear. And like if people don't know what Timmy Two Toes does, then it's just like blind respect for wealth, which is like, you know, you're just buying the facade of the people in front of you. Which like you might think with an orphan that is like had been through so much, such as little Emma, would have the insight to like look past that. But like if you just like don't have something, sometimes you just like look at somebody that has that thing and you just want that, you know. So then I think I go back to the stables and I pick up like I get back to shoveling shit and doing hard work. All this, you know, just preparing the horses and like making sure the jockeys are ready and like everybody has everything they need and like organizing all this stuff behind the scenes. I think she's like panicking because she like doesn't want to feed the carrots to the horse. I think she like same time she like literally like it's not even like if I do this, Timmy Two Toes will like me and I will have money one day. It's just like he's dangerous if I don't do it too. But like Dolbridge, you know, like this is a step further than I've ever taken it doing gang stuff for this gang boss. And what would Dolbridge say? Like, you know, he thinks I'm better than this. I want to think I'm better than this. Oh my god. I think like the panic builds as I'm going through and like doing my manure shoveling and everything, and then I come like at one point I like see Dolbridge walk by, and I just go I like grab him and I'm like, Mr. Dolbridge, dude, can we step out for a minute? I need to ask you something.
Well, the races are going to start very soon, so make it quick. And I step out with you.
I know. No. Mr. Dolbridge, if you could get a better job, would you take it?
I have the best job in the entire world, so I don't think that's possible.
You know, hold the fucking phone. You can't literally believe that. You can't really believe that you've got the best job in the world. Do. Dolbridge, every time I describe what I'm doing in this podcast, I use the word shoveling shit. Like, that's 90% of what in my head this job has been. And you really don't mind.
Well, I think that there is honor and respect in a hard day's work, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay. What about a different hard day's work? Just any other hard day's work for more money. Don't you think that's realistic? Or like, you know, maybe you could like do something on the sly for even more money, you know, like what if you could just get a lot of money really fast? Wouldn't you do it?
Dolbridge pauses for a little bit. You know, there's a saying that goes, increased currency, increased issues in your life.
Oh, you mean like I'm trying to think of a British way to say "mo money, mo problems," just as you've just done it. Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, but at the same time, you see me and these 5 other boys wash our faces in the same dirty tub of water every morning. You see us eating crusts of bread and cubes of cheese as we do 12 hours of manual labor throughout the day without any parents.
Do you have to be an orphan to work here?
It's not all of them are orphans, but for the time being, they're without parents, at least.
Oh, I see.
That's in my head. That's my head canon.
No, that makes sense
So,
too. I just thought it's like we're all orphans here.
You have to admit that it's shit. It's the shit end of the stick, Dolbridge. You can't fucking pretend it's not terrible. Come on.
I
Is this what you wanted to be when you were my age?
Honestly, yes. However, well, maybe not in your exact position.
God damn it.
Not in your exact position, but I did want to be in my exact position. This is what I personally have dreamed of. However, I understand that sometimes people have different priorities. You might have different priorities, but nonetheless, shoveling shit in a stable is the most noble, honorable, fine position in the entire world, bar none. Some might say it's a stable job. See, we have fun here.
Little Emma breaks down crying. The stress of it all has gotten to be too much. All right, Dolbridge, I've got to go. I've got a job to do.
All right. Yeah, that is why you're here. You do have a job to do, so go do it, please.
Dolbridge is like, I can't tell jokes anymore. This is what happens when you try to
connect with the youth.
And they start crying. This is why I'm a professional. Lesson learned.
No,
this
really.
Next generation is so soft. I don't understand.
Well, you were the one that gave us all participation trophies. Listen, really though, Dolbridge, thank you. And if something were to happen to me, I just want you to know that you have been kind of father-esque in my life, and I'm grateful for that.
Are you in trouble, little Emmett? What's this talk about something going to happen to you?
Oh, just, if a horse were to kick me unceremoniously in the head.
Well, never stand behind the horses. I've taught you exactly how to avoid this situation. All risks can be managed and avoided with proper work ethic.
You know how Emma read through ChatGPT? That was her reading through her dad's version of ChatGPT in her brain. That's what that was.
Oh my god! I really respect that. Okay, yeah. Your father-esque, and then, all right, Dolbridge. I know you're busy, so I'll let you get back to all your race day doings, and I'll finish up in there. But if it's all right, can I run and make a bet?
A bet? Oh, you getting into this gambling stuff? All right, but you better sprint. All right, I need you back here in 5.
Absolutely, Dolbridge. You know I like to slap a pence down on the table once upon a time. So I'll be right back. Yeah, I think I run. I go and I take the big money envelope, and then I run to the betting the betting booth, and I put all the money on lackadaisical. But on the sly, I keep $100, and then I run down, and I think there's a scene where I've put the money down, and I'm running through the race crowd, and fucking little newsy boy, little newsy girl masquerading as a newsy boy, is just sprinting through the crowd, going around the rich people, and we pass the Duke and the Duchess, and I almost run into them, and what do they say? You guys should do it from your characters.
Watch yourself, boy.
Emma?
She actually says nothing. She just looks down at you disparagingly and flinches, wiping the idea of dirt off of her coat.
Nice. So I'm ducking through the crowd and everything, and I get to the stables, and like the horses, for whatever reason, there's kind of a moment where it's just kind of like maybe it's magically like cleared out a little bit, and I pick up the rum-soaked carrots, and it's just me like staring at a bunch of the horses, and then we cut, and you don't see what I do until we're gonna find out later. I think because this is the moment. That's the moment of suspense. Uh huh. Who knows if we know? Who knows if I know yet? But I have an idea. But first I want to like cut to. I want to have like a scene. We see Dolbridge before the race. Does Dolbridge watch the races?
A little bit. When he truly has time and there's nothing else to do, Dolbridge goes to watch the races. But he makes sure that all of the business around the stables is taken care of first.
Mm-hmm. And he never places a bet, does he?
Oh, never.
And does he go anywhere to watch from?
Where are the stables in relation to the track? Is it like right behind where they line the racehorses up?
I'd say like probably like a minute walk or something, like not far or anything.
I want to say that there's like a bench fully outside of the ring and everything that still has some level of view, and he'll go sit there from time to time, but not enter the arena.
And obviously Timmy Two Toes is watching from like a fancy freaking booth.
And yeah, he makes like a big show of betting on Roaring Thunder. He's like, have you seen that horse? Come on, who could lose? How could it lose? And he puts like, I don't know, like a decent amount of money on it, knowing that it's just going to lose because that's the play right now.
He makes a big show of betting on Roaring Thunder, and he has a little retinue with him. Right? I know we described them last time, but I don't remember them now.
I do. I remember editing it. So it was because you said you liked the rope. There was a very, very large woman named Tiny, who was like super muscular, nice. And then a very skinny guy with a switchblade named Rock.
God, yeah. I crushed it on that one.
You're like, dang, that was good. Good job, Pass Maddie.
Like, damn, another classic.
Another one.
Yeah, you guys, it's carousing. Before we have the climactic scene, I wanna flash back like the Ratatouille moment for both Dolbridge and Two Toes. Like, what is one moment from like Lil Emma's age that they made that like was defining, So like Dolbridge is sitting from his bench and the race is about to start, and his mind wanders back to a moment in his childhood. What is it?
I'm gonna think a while, and you can edit out this nice long pause.
And Nathan, same goes for you. We can edit this together however we want, but like, Tommy Two Toes is in his fancy booth. He's surrounded by his retinue. He's got like as much money. He's got a lot of money coming in, and even if this plan didn't work out, he's set. He's got some of the most fucking money in town.
All right, I got mine. So, Timmy Two Toes, he's been like talking and glad handing and everything else, and there's a moment of silence before the racing starts. And he looks down, and he doesn't look all the way down to like where the peasants are, but he looks down to like a couple levels below this like uppity, fancy muckety muck people, where it's just like the people who have a bit of money but not a lot. And as he looks down, there's like a little flashback, beautiful sepia tone, all that stuff, the scene, and we see him with his father when he was very young, and his father has the look of a man who was once wealthy but is not anymore. He's got like one suit that's the style from many, many years ago, looking real threadbare, but it's like the last suit he's got. and he's holding onto a bunch of betting tickets, and you can see him like yelling and screaming as his horse loses. And this is like the moment that really Timmy Two Toes' life really changed, because his father was no longer able to like afford their house, and they had to move and a whole bunch of other stuff. And you see that like as he's around his dad, like screaming and yelling and freaking out, little Timmy Two Toes is looking up, and then he looks up and he sees like the smiling people who are so rich that it doesn't matter that their horse is losing. Like, it's people who bet like hundreds and hundreds on the losing horse right now, but they don't care. It doesn't matter. That's not what this is about.
No.
And he's just looking up at them and being like, that's what I want. I want it to not matter. Yeah. So that's what he flashes back to as he sits here.
That's good. That's good.
Okay, one sec. Let me think.
I know this is a big one.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to kind of comedically contrast it to what Timmy Two Toes saw, where you see flashes through Dolbridge's mind of just like pretty boring scenes of a stable childhood. He's eating porridge with his family. They're not rich, but they're doing okay. Is their food great? No, it's always on the table. You see him smiling contentedly as
his parents not giving him the toy he wants for Christmas, but still giving him something.
He's grateful for that because that's how he was raised. And yeah, so you see him just like walking about his day and feeling contented.
And being like, this should keep going. I was raised well, and kids raised like this would be happy.
Yes. And at one point, though, it gets a little bit dramatic because at one point, he didn't quite make it to college. He made it through high school, though, which is probably the old-timey version of college. You know, I don't know what, like, 1800s British people education is. But he, at one point, though, a young teenage Dolbridge is in a library, and he's in the philosophy section, and you see his hand waver, and it's stuck between Camus and his book on absurdism, and whatever the father of, like, utilitarianism's book is. We don't even know the title or author because this book is so boring. No one's read this book. But that's
Nobody knows
where his hand lands, and once more...
There's a sigh of relief. He's like, oh, that was...
Yeah, with a sigh of relief from almost going down this wild path, Dolbridge's future lies ahead of him.
Okay, I think that's beautiful. And then the gun goes off and the gates open and the horses come surging forward as they like are always known to do. Is that sorry, that was weird narration, but I think we should keep it as horses are always known to do in horse races.
As horses are wont to do.
As horses are wont to do, they surge out of the gates. And the race begins to develop, and like, you know, it's kind of evenly matched at first, and like maybe like Roaring Thunder and Lackadaisical are some of the first out of the gate, but it just is a little like clumsier at the beginning. Maybe like the race as a whole is just a little clumsier, and then like we flash back to little Emma feeding a rum-soaked carrot to Roaring Thunder, and then you know, Lackadaisical and Roaring Thunder are like racing top speed against each other at the front of the pack, and there's like a few horses right behind them, and then there's another shot of little Emma feeding a rum-soaked carrot to Lackadaisical too, and then to like each and every single one of the horses, and like they're all kind of like I don't know. I almost want I think Emma gets every single one of the horses drunk, and then at a certain point is just kind of pouring rum down their throats as like the races get closer and closer.
Two of the horses just like stop to have sex with each other.
Yeah, some shit like that. The horse, actually, one of the horses just kind of peels off and like starts running at the crowd.
Another one just like starts grazing and just eating the grass.
Yep.
Just totally ignoring everything else happening.
One of them's just fucking gunning though. One of them's like highest performance, am I right?
Lackadaisical still crushes it, is the thing. Lackadaisical still rages, drunk as a skunk, sprints to the finish line, leaves Roaring Thunder in her dust, and then cut to Lil Emma, who has left her betting ticket on the ground in the stables and has pickpocketed Nigel Farnsworth's parents and is sprinting to their like Model T like buggy to try to get it going and do kind of high speed escape in the car before anyone notices what's happened. And she plans to just leave and just hit the road and be a fugitive and find the next town.
Sorry, can I do a brain or whatever check to see?
How about you go ahead, roll a brains roll there,
Brains is
D10 for you.
okay.
Oh, I guess we didn't set a difficulty.
So I win,
I think so.
Yeah, okay, so 5, I think that's definitely enough for you to see, or at least hear, or whatever, as the engine kicks up and starts, as little Emmett, after having pickpocketed and rushed over here, starts up the car.
Dolbridge's face pokes into the car, glares witheringly at little Emmett before softening and saying, "Isn't it a shame that all of our food stores went bad, resulting in the drunkenness of these horses?"
Yeah, that's quite a shame, Dolbridge. Hey, do you want to ride somewhere?
Who? Dolbridge.
Oh.
Yeah, just for this one afternoon, says Dolbridge. And
Yeah.
puts
Like
some
goggles on?
No, does the responsible thing, runs back, puts some little intern in charge of the situation, comes back and joins you.
Oh my god, perfect. Okay, yeah, I think Lil Emma heels out of the raceway horse loop / parking lot. And they drive into the British countryside, and my newsy cap flies off, revealing my long blonde golden locks as Dolbridge and I laugh into the wind.
And Dolbridge, out of his pocket, pulls the ticket that he retrieved that you had dropped when he went back to the new stable boy in charge.
Oh shit, we're rich. What's Timmy Two Toes doing? Throwing his hat on the ground and stomping on it?
Well, I don't know, because the thing he wanted to happen still happened, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's true. That's
So,
true.
yeah, like, to him, he's like, well, all's well that ends fine.
Well, crime does pay.
Those horses were insane. Actually, he's like putting on a show, like halfway. He's like, "Oh something was wrong with the horses. I want my money back."
Oh yeah. Yep.
Holding up the winning ticket, Dolbridge says, "You say, little Emmett, have you heard of something called the New York Stock and Exchange Board?"
Why, Mr. Dolbridge? I'm not sure I have. What's that all about?
Think of it like gambling, but more responsible.
Oh yeah, and long term, I'm sure it will remain a healthy institution in this American society.
Also, there would be a British stock exchange. Why are we talking about the New York Stock Exchange?
Sorry.
The New York Stock Exchange. I'm Dolbridge.
I just googled old name for stock market. England.
I think there's absolutely a montage of like years past and like a slightly older Lil Emma shows up at the stables to like place a small bet and talk to Dolbridge. She's a race car driver, and she has completely departed from either one of the original routes that were laid out before her.
And one of your sponsors is Dolbridge Stables Incorporated, which now gets most of its money through the London Stock Exchange. which it funnels then into funding, supporting your race car driving.
Who knew a utilitarian approach to finances would be as effective in the New York Stock Exchange as it is in stable keeping? At the end.
That was very silly.
That was a fun one. I had a lot of
had
fun.
like 3 different endings, which I loved listening to last time. The like multiple.
It's like we're really getting to the heart of storytelling because it's like J.R.R. Tolkien. I understand. Like you just had to end Lord of the Rings movies like 5 different ways in Return of the King.
Yeah, it's hard, and then they can like cut one of the endings in the movie.
And then giant eagles come and take us to.
And then we get back to the Shire.
Giant eagle picks up Dolbridge.
Yeah, and then also in that, Timmy Two Toes, I guess, just successfully retires as a gangster.
A healthy, happy, successful criminal. I think it's very funny that we turned this story, Emma, into you can succeed no matter what. Like whether you bet your $100 bill on the horses, whether you put it in a bank account, or whether you go become a race car driver, you can do it.
Yeah, both this and the last one have kind of ended that way. Should you stay here and live with the Sornidors and maybe a bad thing will happen, or go back with your family? And it's like, maybe I'll bring the Sornidors to the reunion? Huh?
Perfect. All right, no bad emotions. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a sad ending eventually, and then we'll solemnly sign off.
All right, well, I am Nathan. You can find me on various platforms at Nathan Who Writes.
I am Emma. You can find me on Instagram at emshineart.
I'm Maddie or Twain, depending on if you know me from hiking or real life. And I am matt.kok on Instagram for writing things I sometimes do.
And our intro and outro music was done by Keiko Akato. And you can find the Instagram and other stuff for our podcast at Source Material Crew. Thank you very much.
Oh my God. Yes, I've got to do that. Sorry, I stepped on you at the end, Nathan.
No, it's okay. I was saying I'm going to cut that because that thank you very much part was weird. So I just said I'm going to cut that. And then you said, tell me I'm going to cut that.
Thank you.
No problem.
And I,
Thank you very much.
Wappenberry Burnsdale, may be found at 702 Northshire Lane for general socialite purposes.
Boy, read us a poem, Duchess.
Preposterous.
That's right, poetry is preposterous.
I really needed Nathan you to be doing that voice the whole time during this entire series.
We'll play some other game where I'll play, I don't know, like a colonel in an African safari or something, and I'll do that voice.
Absolutely.
Oh,
my God,
I also want to
that's fun.
say that Timmy Two Toes and Dolbridge go together sometimes to see Little Emma's races.
Oh, that's fun. And they hold hands, and sometimes they kiss. That's great. Oh, man. Okay, that was fun, you guys. See Dolbridge walk by, and I just go, I like grab him, and I'm like, Mr. Dolbridge.
Yes, what's up? Or sorry,
do you have a minute?
Sorry, what's
What's up?
What's the old-timey British version of what's up?
Yeah, hey kid.
What's up, bro?
Oh, what's twisted your knickers?
What's got your knickers in a twist? Sorry, that was far too casual. How's
Howdy, partner.
What is the matter, little Emmett? Oh,
Do
that was
you have a
stressful.
chance to, dude? Can we step out for a minute? I need to ask you something.